25 years after it started service in the U.S. Air Force, the F-22 Raptor is expected to get some important improvements to preserve its advantage over future opponents. Some of these changes were released last week in the fiscal year 23 budget proposal papers and in an official artwork posted by Gen Mark Kelly, the commander of Air Combat Command, in a post commemorating the 15th anniversary of the approval of the first F-22 flying demonstration. In the artwork, we can see 3 Raptors loaded with new stealthy external fuel tanks, 2 underwing faceted pods, and a new unknown air-to-air missile. But there are even more novelties in the documents, which unveils a previously undisclosed relationship between the F-22 and the development of the next-generation air dominance, NGAD, the system of systems, which includes the first Air Force's 6th-gen fighter aircraft. Let's now review what we know about the upgrades that have been released so far. 25 years after it started service in the U.S. Air Force, the F-22 Raptor is expected to get some important improvements to preserve its advantage over future opponents. Some of these changes were released last week in the fiscal year 23 budget proposal papers and in an official artwork posted by Gen Mark Kelly, the commander of Air Combat Command, in a post commemorating the 15th anniversary of the approval of the first F-22 flying demonstration. In the artwork, we can see 3 Raptors loaded with new stealthy external fuel tanks, 2 underwing faceted pods, and a new unknown air-to-air missile. But there are even more novelties in the documents, which unveils a previously undisclosed relationship between the F-22 and the development of the next-generation air dominance, NGAD, the system of systems, which includes the first Air Force's 6th-gen fighter aircraft. Let's now review what we know about the upgrades that have been released so far. The F-22 is currently equipped with very sophisticated EW systems, but considering the ever-evolving EW environment, it would be worth to pay a tiny portion of the Raptor's low observability for additional advanced capabilities. Also, the pod would offer a simpler and less expensive way to swiftly install new capabilities on the aircraft as they became available. One of the 2 pods looks to contain a faceted aperture for a sensor of some type, potentially for an infrared search and track system, IRST, as postulated also by the Warzone. This sort of sensor was initially among the several systems being developed for the Advanced Tactical Fighter program, but it was eventually scrapped. The Air Force, however, is currently seeking again to obtain this capability for the Raptor, as demonstrated in Small Business Innovation Research, SBIR, paperwork that has been just released. The F-22 Program Office is seeking unique hardware and software solutions that enable long-range infrared sensing and object detection capabilities. If a contractor is able to build a product that satisfies the need, the Air Force will study it, with the objective of incorporating it on the fighter. The inclusion of the F-22 of an IRST system, like the F-35's Electro-Optical Targeting System, EOTS, would need large and expensive changes to the airframe. Therefore, a podded option appears the most feasible choice. The inclusion of an internal IRST sensor on the Raptor was likewise regarded not practicable by Lockheed Martin some years ago. It is worth noting that the same SBIR documentation that we just mentioned also calls for other F-22 related requirements, such as cyber intrusion detection and prevention, predictive maintenance, synthetic data generation, sensor fusion, improved sensing, radar, manned-unmanned teaming, pilot-assisted autonomy, alternative navigation to GPS, Scorpion helmet-mounted display, HMD, Red Air Threat Replication Application, Optimized Intercept, Real-Time Debriefing, Basic Fighter Maneuvers, and Combat Identification. The HMD is another feature that was discarded during the construction of the Raptor, although the Air Force afterwards began studying potentially incorporating it on the aircraft once in service. The first system that was looked at for integration was, obviously, the Joint Helmet-Mounted Cueing System, the Air Force's standard HMD, but several challenges relating to the aircraft characteristic hindered the works to move further. Years later, the Air Force looked at another HMD system for integration. The Scorpion, however, owing to unknown reasons, it did not succeed again. Another change highlighted in the artworks is the couple of new exterior fuel tanks, which is formally called as Low Drag Tank and Pylon, LDTP, and supposed to be stealthier and more aerodynamically efficient than the present 600-gallon fuel tanks. This is description offered in the FY23 budget request documentation. The F-22 Low Drag Tank and Pylon, LDTP, capability is crucial to preserving air superiority in the joint battle and fighting new threats. Due to the advancement of adversary technologies in detection and emergence of fighter, cargo, and refueling platforms increasing engagement ranges, it is critical to future mission execution and success to provide the Raptor with an increased range capability while maintaining own-ship survivability. The F-22 LDTPs are innovative technical innovations, giving enhanced persistence and range while preserving lethality and survivability. The low drag tanks are designed to minimize drag, enabling supersonic flying with external tanks and improve the range of the F-22. The pylons are integrated with smart rack pneumatic technology to properly manage ejection performance and smooth wind-swept surface for lowest drag without storage. LDTP risk reduction actions are incorporated within the Advanced Technology Development (ATT) key emphasis. Documentation of the development and integration components as part of the engineering, manufacturing, and development (EMD) program will be captured under the LDTP primary thrust. The focus both on range and low observability is not unexpected, since the U.S. are now looking strategically to get an edge over near-peer adversaries like China, which owns stealth aircraft, and would force the U.S. to operate over the Pacific Ocean, thus requiring longer range of action for its aircraft. Obviously, having external fuel tanks that do not impair severely the Raptor's attributes would be a great advantage. The last upgrade seen in the artwork is a new unknown air-to-air missile. While there are a lot of air-to-air missile systems in the works, it is plausible that the one in the image might be a typical design, which may or may not match to the actual deal for the extremely classified AIM-260 missile. So yet, the missile has never been represented in any form of graphic, and data concerning the program are relatively rare. The development of the AIM-260, sometimes dubbed Joint Advanced Tactical Missile, was initially disclosed in 2019 and has been in the works at least since 2017. The purpose of the new long-range air-to-air missile is to replace the AIM-120 AMRAAM, Advanced Medium-Range Air-to-Air Missile, to neutralize the danger presented by the Chinese PL-15 missile, while preventing any foreign threats being able to outrange the AIM-120. Among the few known technical facts, the new missile will be compatible with the AMRAAM dimensions, but clearly with higher range, and is expected to be carried in the F-22 weapons bay and on the F/A-18 at first, with the F-35 to follow. Flight testing are currently underway and the missile is scheduled to be fielded by next year. Because of these factors, it would be plausible to believe that the one displayed in the photograph might be at least a clue at the AIM-260. Now, as we indicated in the introduction of this post, the FY23 papers relate the F-22's improvements to the development of the NGAD. As it looks, the Raptor is being utilized as a test bed for the new technologies being developed, but it is also slated to profit itself from them in a technological transfer both from and to the NGAD. Here is what the docs say. Technology maturation, risk reduction, research, demonstrations, and prototypes of classified F-22 development initiatives. The F-22 Advanced Technology Development (ATD) program is undertaken utilizing a fast acquisition construct employing commercial best practices like as Agile and Lean. This allows the F-22 Raptor enterprise to develop, test, and field software/hardware from multiple programs. product lines, using a scheduled cadence for capabilities as they mature. The F-22 program attempts to maximize efficiency by utilizing technology transfer both to the next-generation air dominance (NGAD) portfolio and from the NGAD portfolio based on emerging threats, AF priorities, and development pipeline capacity. Incorporating NGAD-developed technologies will include developing, integrating, and testing capabilities on the F-22 weapons system. One of the new technologies for which the F-22 might be acting as testbed is the mirror-like coating that, since late 2021, is being spotted on a couple of Raptors at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. The exact purpose behind these coatings, which exhibit some variances between the two aircraft, is presently unknown, but now looks to be even more tied to the 6th-gen system of systems.